Read what is in red. Read what is in red. By submitting, posting, or displaying content on or through the service, you grant us a worldwide, non-exclusive, royalty-free license with the right to sub-license to use, copy, reproduce, process, adapt, modify, publish, transmit, display, upload, download, and distribute such content. That's the person making an argument for X. Understand the meaning of the words in red. Here's the video, and here is a Vtuber.
So, if you have been using Twitter for a very long time or even recently, you might have
I can let this look.
noticed there is a big enough development going on with Twitter or X. So there are two things
I was
that
not the
came
one
out of
talking.
Twitter. The first one is that Twitter is going to have a change in how the block function works. There is going to be a change in how the block function works, and the noise. There is going to be a change in how the block function works, and basically what is different is that currently
The noise also interrupts train of thought. I have to continue the chain of thought when trying to pay attention to something else that's just happening. Distractions.
the block function is you block somebody, they will not be able to see you at all. But
Yes, correct.
the current plan is the revamped block function is the person you blocked can still see your posts, can still see what you talk about, but they are unable to interact with you in any way. So that is the first change that has caused a lot of outrage. And for one, I want to get this out of the way first, because this is not very important. To me, it's not very important. It's a nothing burger. And you know why it's a nothing burger? Two things precisely. One, alts exist. Alts exist.
I was indeed muted somehow. Not sure what happened. But yes, as I was saying, the person is saying blocking function is kind of useless because alts exist. Right? Our reply was the block function is not completely useless. And the block function is gonna come back as a counter argument to what the person is going to say at the end. And also, I'll still exist. And I did block a few people. And now I want to ask, anyone in chat knows if I has people who are assigning will create new accounts or no? Yes, the answer. I took for instance in chat. I has any people who are assigning I has to block. No answer? Is that still muted? A yes or no question. Well, I has, and I had to deal with one person in particular who try to interact with Ari on different platforms as well, not just X. Also on Discord, also on Twitch. Even on Bluesky when I created a new account. But I can always use the block function. Because the person at some point will give up. As long as the person is not giving the person enough interaction or enough satisfaction between each attempt, a person will at some point just give up. There is nothing to gain for the person. If the person doing the blocking is also giving the person extra attention, and the person will try over and over again. So the block function also depends on how smart the person using the block function is. Your block function is not the problem for Champat? Yes, but can be a problem for other people because now, blocking someone does not mean not seeing the person's content. The person's content is still going to show. If the content is set to public. Lots of people expressed on X how the different people have different accounts blocked because Twitter or X keep shoving the content down their throat and people don't want to see the content. So why are people forced to see the content, right? Don't only think on a personal level. Think about the interests of other people. Anyways, I'll continue the video a little bit. Haven't even been 2 minutes in.
Just because someone blocked you, and don't pretend you don't do it. Someone blocks you. It is very easy to just change to an old account and you have full access to that person to block you all over again. So, what's the point? It just reduces one step.
The point is making it more difficult, not as accessible, not as convenient.
Now, granted, it's a very confusing choice to change the functionality of the block function, but is there a reason for outrage? Anonymous, thank you for the tip. Anyway, is this really cause for outrage, honestly? Because, let me tell you a bit of a story. And a lot of Facebook lurkers here would probably know what I'm going to talk about. But when you get, for many years, when you get banned on Facebook or when you get blocked on Facebook, you can still see other people's posts, the posts of the person who blocked you. You just can't interact with them. You can't share them. And that's it. No one on Facebook batted an eye when that happens. Yes, I'll get back to that, Aya. I just want to get the small matters out of the way. Then we get to the big nitty-gritty of the big problem. Okay?
So one last thing about the block function. The change is so unnecessary because why take a choice from the people who use the platform to begin with? Who asks for the change? Who benefits from the change? Who is harmed by the change? As answering the questions will be very important to deciding was the block change a good idea? The user doesn't really benefit. The only person who benefits is the platform. Because if more posts can be shown to users, and more ads generated by the site, the user gains nothing at all. All the user gains is less functionality.
So, like I say, Facebook, no one bats an eye. And I would think that
trying to lump in Facebook is a really bad idea for the argument because Facebook is a different topic. We are not doing a comparison between Facebook and X. Comparing to Bluesky will be more accurate because the argument is, why would you leave X for Bluesky? Not why would you leave X for Facebook, so anything related to Facebook is kind of out of scope. for the topic.
That Twitter, you shouldn't bat an eye of this block function. It's a small matter to me. So with that being said, we'll leave the questions till after my talk, but I will move on to the next big contentious issue. Okay?
Yes,
me
let's
see.
go to the most important issue.
Yes.
Here we go.
This is the contentious issue. I suppose a lot of you have seen this repeatedly, right? That X is essentially data scraping you. They're telling people who are using the website that with a high likelihood their posts, their art, whatever, data scraping. So it's going to be used for their, among other things, AI training algorithm, generative AI, and all those related topics. Is the cause for outrage? I will not deny that. It is a worrying thing. I also will not deny that. And it has spooked a lot of
Worrying thing. I'd expect to show everyone is beyond the worrying stage at this point. Literally, thousands of people moved over from X. At least to Bluesky. Not to mention the people who moved over to other websites besides Bluesky. And also, read what is in red. Read what is in red. By submitting, posting, or displaying content on or through the service, you grant us a worldwide, non-exclusive, royalty-free license with the right to sub-license to use, copy, reproduce, process, adapt, modify, publish, transmit, display, upload, download, and distribute such content. That's the person making an argument for X. Understand the meaning of the words in red. If you go to commission an artist and pay for commercial fees, nowhere in hell would the artist give you a license that covers everything written here in red. Unless the artist is working for a very big corporation like Disney. Even Disney will not be including, not crediting as part of the process, because nobody can commissary any AI model is going to credit everyone who contributed to the data set used for training a model. No way. At least with Disney, when the person makes work for Disney and Disney uses the work freely, a person is credited and the person is compensated properly. This here is just ridiculous. This is an admission of defeat. If you're an artist, this is an admission of defeat. Understand? So if the person cannot reinterpret what is in red to be not as bad as what the documents clearly shows, then what's the point of the argument? What's in red is more than enough of a reason to leave. Because not leaving is an admission of defeat. Literally you sign in on X using the data freely. And the person is going to try to use an argument against moving still. But here's the thing. If X does not have the agreement, the change in term of service, what's highlighted in red here, and X did scrape your data, you understand the difference between having what's highlighted in red in the term of service and not having what's highlighted in red? Like, why is even X having making this document accessible to the public and all the users of the platform. If this is not a big deal, why do you think X even updates the term of service and put the changes in the spotlight? Any clue? Not clue? You want the answer without even trying? Hello, Casa. Thank you for the follow. And welcome. The answer is very simple. The document is a legal agreement between the user and the platform. With the legal agreement present, and once the legal agreement is in effect, and the user had enough time to take action, either by agreeing to the document by continuing to use the service, or disagreeing by simply disengaging with the platform, the user can no longer sue X for using any of the posts or data published on the platform. If someone else comes to X, or X themselves come and scrape the data and train the model without the change in agreement, there is room for people to sue the company. Without the agreement, the user has power over the company. The least they can do is advocate for themselves to remove their content from the AI. But with the agreement, X is untouchable. You agreed to this. It's over for you. Why are you in the court? The judge will laugh you out of the court. You literally said, yes, I'm okay with this. I'm paid for it. Alright, let's continue the video. Even though a Vtuber is never going to add this argument I just said.
Of people have they are courageous. I will explain to you something a bit odd when I get to it, but I'll tell you about this. Fact of the matter is, it is a big bummer that AI is going to scour X, in this case, for artist art or whatever, and possibly using to train their AI. So, because of that, I'm sure you all...
Not possibly, for sure. AIs need a large set of data to train. If anyone is a student who's just learning about AI, the data set to train a very small model is ridiculous. You need like 500,000 different images, labeled properly, to train an amateur AI. So just think about the scale of something like ChatGPT. Not everyone even has the resources. Even if you have the data sets, chances are you'll never have enough money to train a model with such a large amount of data. You will need resources to run an entire data center. And the electricity bill for a data center is equivalent to an entire town to run one data center.
Aware, and I know Sane is aware. A lot of VTubers and a noticeable number of VTubers and artists will be planning to leave X, or at least post less on X.
That planet, people already left, and people will slowly...
And instead, they will be opening accounts on Bluesky.
Yes.
And do any of you know what Bluesky is? The ones on Facebook, at least. I know the people on Twitter will be aware what Bluesky is, but Facebook, do you know what Bluesky is? Not enough of people know what Bluesky is, so I will just give you a rundown. So basically, after Elon took over Twitter and renamed it into X, Jack Dorsey set up Bluesky. Well, Bluesky was already set up a long time ago, I think about at least a year ago, before Elon Musk took over Twitter, but it's neither here nor there. When Elon Musk took over Twitter, Jack Dorsey hard pushed and marketed Bluesky to everyone who were afraid to use Twitter under Elon Musk. Yes, curious way, I will talk to you about that later because it will add to the point I'm going to make, okay? So, basically a lot of artists, Japanese artists or Western artists, what have you, are going to go to Bluesky. And some VTubers have already posted about how they're going to Bluesky. And so, I will tell you from my observation the reasoning for why they're moving to Bluesky. Because of this. Basically because of this screen cap on.
Is this map enough of a reason? Is this not enough of a reason to move away from the platform? If someone says they will come and take everything you posted and claim it as theirs and redistribute it, is this not enough of a reason? Imagine if you're a VTuber and someone says, oh yes, I like your model, I'm gonna start using it now. This is my model now. I'm also gonna sell your model. And you can't say anything. This is all done, legally. You have no rights here. Greetings, welcome.
Of this TOS change about AI, machine learning. Isn't it? Is that I want the artists here in this stream right now and VTubers in this stream right now tell me this is the main reason you are moving to Bluesky, right?
This is one of the biggest reasons.
Just let me know if you are following.
This is only one of the biggest reasons.
Grim Pilgrim, you are hinting at certain things. And let's just keep going. I assume that a lot of you are following along and you know, and basically the reasoning you're moving to Bluesky is to avoid this X AI machine learning possibly taking some of your information. Well, I'm going to show you a series of headlines and I want you to just give it a think when you read them, okay? I'm going to open them right now. I'm going to open them right now. Let's start with this one.
Okay, Meta's new tool quietly scrapes online data to train its AIs.
Let's start with something.
Okay, what's the point?
Let's start with this one. Meta. So, Mark Zuck, he has been exposed and it's still happening right now as...
Okay, something funny, off topic. Because the VTuber said Mark Zuck. So Zuck in Arabic is just like for poop. So Mark the poop.
We are talking. He has his own homegrown AI scouring the internet and extracting all kinds of data for their own machine learning algorithms. Yes, they are doing, I will explain to you later first, but what they're doing is they aren't just going to Facebook to extract data. No, They're not just using Instagram, they're not just using Facebook, they are not just using Threads. They are going to other places. Whether it is DeviantArt, Pixiv, Dunburu, wherever.
Let I get that's out of the way. Yes, every big AI company can go ahead and scrape the entire internet. That still does not address the issue with X. A legal agreement in place. No one is saying going to Bluesky means the artists are now in the clear from the AI is scraping data or other tools scraping data. No. But on Bluesky, as far as I know, there is no explicit agreement. Anyone can come in and scrape the work. Alright, Karina.
The AI is going to dig. Wherever you post your art, Meta's AI is going to get it, eventually. And that's just one. Now, let me show you something else, okay? This is just Meta. Now, this is another one. You can find the headline for yourself and you read it for yourself, but now you think about it. Not just Meta under Mark Zuckerberg. Apple has their own AI. Nvidia has their own AI. And who knows how many AI corporations have their own AI? Machine learning on your content. Now let's just scroll down this article just a little bit. Let's see here. Tech companies are turning to controversial tactics to feed their data-hungry AI models, vacuuming books, websites, photos, and social media posts, all without the awareness of the creator of those content. Are you following me so far, lurkers? Especially the artists and the Vtubers who are here? Good.
Yes, ma'am.
Let
Carry
me tell
on.
you, what does it mean? Well, for one, it doesn't matter where you go. Whether you are on X, Twitter, whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on Instagram.
It doesn't matter in respect to what? AI? In respect to AI, yes. In some sense, not being able to escape AI, but to explicitly give an AI a legal document which states what the AI has is 100% owned by the company is different.
Or whether you're on Bluesky, it doesn't matter. Now,
It does matter.
because these AIs, they will find you. And they will take your data eventually. But
Very
here's
true.
a little bit of an additional information. Anyway, I want to give a shout out to Legal Mindset, Andrew at Legal Mindset. And he also made a very brief talk about this whole situation. And he brought up, and I also verified it, that there is one very specific way that you can slow down AI from scraping your data.
There is a way? What's the way? Tell I.
And it is basically walling it, making it non-public. Because
So not using the internet is the answer? Okay, who would have thought?
this AI is meant to scour the internet finding public posts to build their AI models. So, if you make your content private or behind a paywall, it will slow them down a lot. It will slow AI down a lot.
Setting your content on X to be private or behind a paywall will not stop X's growth. X's branded AI from scraping the content. As long as the content is on the platform, X can still use the content. Whether the content is paid for or not, whether the content is private or not.
A lot. Okay, do you understand? Think about it. And so here we are to this point. If there is even a slight bit of degree of exclusivity towards accessing someone's, whether it's art or posts or information, it will make the AI's job a lot harder. Are you following me? So, with that being said, I want to tell you all some. So basically, let's say you have an account where you can only view content from other people if you create an account there. Otherwise, all the posts are locked out to you. That would slow down the AI by a lot and noticeably. The unfortunate truth is, it's just a matter of when, it's a matter of time, but it will slow them down a lot. And with that, I want
That's much a user can really do to slow down AI and slow down AI for what? For politicians to finally address the lack of a legal framework for AI? Politicians are intentionally ignoring the matter because currently there's a race between different powers over being the most advanced AI country. So there are regulations, say in the US, but there are no regulations in China, for example. Then China will obviously be ahead in the AI department. So the lack of regulations isn't really because politicians don't know AI exists. By now, everyone knows about AI. AI is kind of starting to pop up in every single workplace. And governments are also using AI. AI is no longer just some niche field. That is the reason why regulations don't exist. And won't exist for a very long time. If ever.
to bring up something. If I can find it, and I hope I can find it, let me see. Oh, I don't have it on. I don't have it up for now, but I will show you something. It's quite illuminating.
Okay.
Hold on, let
So
me
far,
post
nothing
this
is
for a
really.
while. You all can talk amongst
Nothing is
yourself.
really. Nothing the Vtuber has said was really addressing the issue. Everything has just been, oh, other people are doing it. So why not just admit defeat and stay where you are? None of the arguments are really good arguments, kind of distracting from the main issue.
But keep that in mind.
Did the video freeze? No.
There we go. I have it. And now I will show you something. And I'm going to tell you something that may not be very popular, but it is what I believe to be the case, okay? I will show you it right now. This is what X looks like when you don't have an account, when you can't log in. Notice something? You can tell, just type it down. You notice something?
This is the login page, and if someone has a direct link to a tweet or a post on X, the person can see the post directly without having to log in. Logging in is only to view feeds or large amount of tweets. Because without logging in, the person can still view profiles, but what's shown on the profile is not going to necessarily be the latest and greatest tweet. The page is going to display some of the content from the person, but not all of the content, and sometimes outdated content even. But being logged in or not logged in is not really a good argument. And the only reason X did this is to make scraping harder, but honestly, if anyone ever knows anything about automation, you would know this does not even slow down AI scraping data. If anyone here ever use payment processing services which support a large number of banks, like for example here in the US, there is a payment processing framework called Plaid's API. If someone did enough transactions, especially with small businesses, chances are you run into using Plaid. They do payments or even direct deposits for things like refunds. Just last week, I had to use Plaid to receive a refund. Okay? And if you use Plaid, you will see Plaid supports so many banks, like over 100 banks, all across the US, from big banks to small banks. Do you really think Plaid has some sort of a legal agreement between them and the banks? Because let I tell you, they don't. They don't have an agreement. If someone can automate banks, do you really think someone cannot automate a social media website? Think for a little bit. Sleep on the question.
No, not that. Notice something. You want to access X? What do you need to do? You want to see posts from artists who use X. What do you need to do? It's a very simple thing. There is not a trick question. It is not a trick question. Exactly. Signing up.
Just wait for the next point.
To have an account. And you know what that means? Do you know what that means? No. Okay, it is not public. Exactly, Orangey. It is not public. You have to make an X account before you can access posts on X. That is a noticeable difference. Let's make a comparison now. Let's have a look. By comparison, all I have to do to access public posts on Bluesky is to just click Bluesky. No sign-ins,
Okay.
no logins, no registering, no paywall. Everything is public. And now, I want you to think about it again. Meta AI app.
This is not the way the Vtuber thinks for X. Because on Bluesky actually gives you all the tools to control your data and your privacy on the platform. If you don't want your content to be shown publicly, you also have that option. you can keep your content to logged in user as well. You have that option in your privacy settings. Over on Bluesky, believe it or not. The option exists. Go and explore the platform and all the settings on the platform. The platform does not force you to use the platform in a very specific way, like X does. If you don't want to see a specific type of content on the platform, you can customize that. If you don't want people to see your content without being logged in, you can also do so. Gating the content behind simply logging in is such a nothing burger, as the Vtuber was saying at the start, from an automation perspective. If a regular user can do something, an automated machine can do the same thing.
Apple AI, NVIDIA AI, and many other corporations with their own inbuilt AI. You compare the two. Which is easier to extract data from, X or Bluesky? Come on. Exactly right. Below, exactly right. It is unspeakably easy to access your art, for the AI to access your art on Bluesky. So easy. And do you know what's the one thing that makes things very, very different? What's the punchline? I am reasonably sure Bluesky also has their own AI. Funny, right? Bluesky likely has their own AI, doing the things that you are upset that X is doing. Now here's the kicker. Here's the thing that
this is just a claim without backing proofs whatsoever, so anyone can say anything. And just say, oh, I'm pretty sure, Bluesky is doing this and this. Well, show the proof. You can't just add the claims. Don't already bad arguments and expect that to add up to a good opinion by the end of the day.
is the main reason why I wanted to talk about this today instead of posting about Toho, is that the difference between Elon's X and every other social media website other than Elon's is that he tells you it's happening. He tells you data scraping could be happening by their own AI.
The reason Elon tells people is because Elon is forced to tell people, not because Elon is such a good person. He is telling people ahead of time.
On their posts. But Meta doesn't tell you that. People had to dig. And whether it's from
Because Meta use a lot of early day collecting users' data info, which are honestly the user's fault for sleeping on data privacy when the topic was still on the front line of news of every news website. People didn't care. People see something that is free to use and just decide, oh yes, my data is worth nothing. Please take my data. I want to play Fortnite.
Congress or what have you? People had to dig and people had to force Meta to confess. Elon just tells you straight up.
Okay, again. Elon not being forced and saying it up front doesn't really change the fact. Telling someone is about to do something bad, and not saying you're going to do something bad, are so both bad by the end of the day. Both are bad!
And now, I'm going to do I'm going to write something up. I'm going to open a notepad. And I want you all to just think it over, okay? Let me see. Hold on. Let me see. I'll close this. All right. So, I want to engage with you
impatiently.
all a thought experiment, okay? If any VTubers and artists are still watching, I want to engage in a thought experiment. And I want you to just measure it objectively without bias the best you can. Can you do that for me? Can you do that for me, audience? Okay, good. Try. Just try. Just try, Pharma. I'm not going to say the rest of the name, but just try. Okay, let's just get it started. I'm rambling. I'm starting to ramble and I don't like it.
Lots of yapping. Let's get to the point.
So, you have Bluesky and you have X, Twitter. Oh, Nambona, welcome. Let me wait for the siren to end first. Okay.
A little too much for any notification.
Reading this because I want you to think a bit as I type this out, okay? Let's say we are talking about AI data scrapping, data stealing. Let's have something bombastic. Let's have a bombastic word. AI data stealing, for instance, okay? Just to...
Okay.
Okay, let's have it. AI data stealing. So, you have Bluesky, for instance. What AI is stealing from Bluesky posts? Okay? As we can see in the short little demonstration, and with credit to Legal Mindset for bringing it up, using the information that we have learned, what can we say? What AI is stealing your data? First is Zuck, Meta AI.
This is pointless. Any AI can steal any data.
Next, we have
LX is doing a slowing down the process, and this is still not addressing what was in the highlighted parts of the documents. The parts that are highlighted in red at the start of the video.
So, what AI steals your data on Twitter? Well, you can't really say steal,
none of them,
because
including Grok.
Remember, only X tells you it's doing it. And as long as you keep posting on
Such a dishonest answer to the X Twitter AI data stealing? Because even if the other AIs are working slower at X/Twitter, AIs are still scraping the data from there. Except the only difference is X has a license. X is not liable anymore. X can do whatever. The only difference is you give X an advantage over other AIs. How is this useful to the debate? How is this saying, oh yeah, you should stay on X? Ridiculous, just ridiculous.
X, it means you have implied consent. But let's just say, for argument's sake, stealing data. What is the AI stealing your data? That's it. That's all.
Such a dishonest answer. Such a dishonesty. Literally, when someone makes an argument such as this, what the Vtuber is doing, all the Vtuber is doing is hurting their own credibility when making any sorts of future argument. Why would anyone listen to such dishonesty? Really? Only Grok can scrape data on Twitter? I can go in and scrape data as well. You think corporations can't scrape data is just absurd. Literally all the person is doing is just trying to convince people, saying it on X is good, and trying to find dirt on Bluesky. Not even coming from a good place for the arguments they're making. Making arguments for the sake of making argument. And the person is also known for simply capitalizing on any controversial topic. At least back up the controversial opinions with good arguments. Not such horrible arguments that are just mind-blowingly bad.
Only one AI.
Because here's what Ari believes, and I cannot back up the claim. Out of pocket Ari here. I believe some people are trying to validate staying on X by invalidating everyone else's choice of leaving. Basically calling everyone else an idiot for leaving the site. Do not look like an absolute fucking buffoon or a clown for staying on X. Especially when the website is working very well for them and their narrative.
AI. Remember I told you, you need to create an account to see posts on X. You don't need to do that on Bluesky.
Again, Bluesky gives you an option. You can easily prevent whoever you don't want to have access to your posts. Do not have access to your posts. If you don't want signed out users from seeing the post, there's an option. If you don't want something in particular on your feed from showing up, there's an option for that. There is way more control over the smaller site called Bluesky than there is over on fucking X. What the fuck was Elon doing those entire years? And why does X have more user-friendly features on the platform than X does? Let I know if you know the answer.
Clear enough? Advertisers is a whole different story, okay? But advertisers is materially different from an AI company.
They think themselves smarter than others, yes.
Scour the internet and downloading your information without your consent. So, you have hit the nail on the head, Prof. Desk. The question is consent, and the question is how bad it is. So, with this understanding,
why would anyone want to consent to X taking their data? Why would anyone wants to consent to X taking their data? So X taking the data is fine? What a ridiculous argument. Because at the end of the day, the person did not even address the main issue with X. I'm not sure why some controversial people take the approach of addressing arguments with basically whataboutism and distracted from addressing the main issue, and instead point out other issues unrelated. Because what the person is trying to do here seems to be downplaying the issue with X's new policy. Literally just downplaying everything. And saying, oh, it's not as bad as you think. It's not as bad. You should stay. It's not as bad. Trust me. And also suggesting some of the worst solutions ever in the process. Like, oh yes, you can't really see posts when you're like that, which is not really true, and doesn't really slow down AIs from data scraping. If anything, the most effective thing X has is the 1 million post limit per 24 hours, which the Vtuber didn't even use as an argument. Didn't even use a valid argument as an argument. He used the worst possible argument. And obviously the person is coming from a naive tech background, so obviously the solution suggested reflect that. And by the end of the day, do you want to give up your rights to access AI? Or not give up your rights to your work to any AI? Because even if an AI company comes in and scrape all of your data, at the end of the day, you do have a valid argument to bring to court. And chances are there will be lots of class action lawsuits against lots of AI models for scraping data without explicit consent. What X is doing here is taking everyone's explicit consent. They do whatever X wants to do with the data. Really just ridiculous. Where is the actual article? I has to look for the actual article somewhere. Let's see. This is the actual article. Annex. None of the points here were addressed. All is just downplaying the issue and telling people, oh, you're kind of fucked either way. You should stay. Which is honestly dishonest. And clearly the person doesn't know enough about the Bluesky platform and making really shitty arguments for X. Really just ridiculous. This apparently garnered lots of attention as well. People agreeing with the silly arguments here. Because it's really difficult to make good arguments apparently nowadays. Every clown just wants to have a birthday. Sorry for the bad language, it's honestly just infuriating. Even with horrible takes such as this. Which is what X thrives on, by the way. Just controversy. People who just want to say some weird things. Anyways. We are done with the video. With the stupid article that is a nothing burger. As a VTuber likes to frame it.